Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Just Some Bodhi's Opinion. My name is Bodhi, and I am expanding the people who I interview, becoming even more diverse with yet another Filipino for the people who I interview. But this time, he's not in Singapore, he's not in the Philippines, he's in Berlin. So obviously, that has diversity points somewhere. He's the only person that I know personally who has finished the books. So I'm finally gonna have a reader opinion alongside my opinion. I've only had non-reader opinions, and I've got my friend John Rae the Great on, on the channel. Hey, John Rae, how are you?
Hello, I'm
And how
good.
is Berlin?
It's very cold. Actually, last night, so yesterday was my first day, and then last night I walked to IKEA of all places because I needed to buy stuff. And I had that moment where, oh my God, why did I go here? I shouldn't have gone here. It was so freaking cold. But today was really pleasant. So no
That's
complaints yet.
good.
And tomorrow it's supposed to be a little warmer, but
And from the
rainy.
blurred background, it looks great. Your your place looks great. Anyway, to the audience, we're gonna have a casual session. In Filipino, we call it chikahan, which translates generally to gossip mongering. I don't know how chikahan can be. We'll have a casual conversation basically because John Ray is my first ever guest who is a reader. I am very curious about how he found the show, and I had wanted to talk about the changes that have happened. But to the audience, this is going to be a full spoiler chat. All spoilers, episodes 1 to 8, and book spoilers 1 to 14 most probably will happen. Let me just start with, hey John Ray, how did you find the show in general? If you want to talk about anything that impacted you.
No, I like the show. So maybe if you read a lot of
So
the
you're not a book
forums,
cloak.
exactly. So if you read the comments online, it seems like you're either a book cloak or a, what is the other term, like for
Show
the show
sworn.
show
Show sworn.
sworn, or somewhere in between,
Rafe
right?
Rafe friend. I think there's something
Right
called a Rafe
friend.
friend.
Yeah. I'm a little, I guess I'm leaning a little bit more on the show sworn, but it doesn't mean that I like
Blindly accept
blindly
everything.
accept everything, right? But it's more like, I remember when we had this discussion when we saw the previews for Wheel of Time, and then I already had these gripes like, why is it Rosamund Pike? She's too tall to be Moiraine, and then blah 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 blah. All these comments, right?
Yes, yes.
But I think once I kind of let all of
Got
that
over
go,
it.
yeah, I
Mm,
got over it, and then I kind of accept now that I am watching something that is not the same as the books, and that's totally fine, right? And
correct.
as someone who also read like the Game of Thrones and finished the whole, well, okay, it's not finished, so but
Whatever has been
yeah,
published.
so I at some point, right, they were quite faithful to the books, and then at some point they really deviate, and at some point they have no choice but to deviate because George R. R. Martin hasn't even written those parts, right?
Correct.
So it's kind of the same here in a parang, okay, I mean, it's the same, and it's nice to be able to watch something new. So at least
Yeah, I
there's
think we
there's still, yeah, there's still a sense of anticipation about, okay, where they're gonna bring the show, rather than, okay, by this episode I know that they're gonna do this because in the books it's like that.
yeah. And I think we both to the audience, we both experienced waiting for the books and theorizing everything about the books. So getting this
Did you
new
did you start
medium,
with did you start with Eye of the World?
yes. Yes. Because
Actually,
New
for
Spring came
me,
out.
I think I
Oh
started
yeah,
with
what did you
I started with
book two?
Great Hunt. I think either Great Hunt or
Oh,
Dragon Reborn, because my my method before when I went to National Bookstore was to pick the thickest books, because I wanted to make the most of my like 170,
yeah.
180 pesos. So, like, I picked the thickest books, and then I saw the Great Hunt. So I think I read the Great Hunt. So the first five books were not even in orders. I read the Great Hunt, I read Dragon Reborn, and then I read Eye of the World.
Okay.
And then I think that's when I went back to Shadow Rising and Fires of Heaven. So it was a little bit of a mishmash in the beginning. But I mean, I still like to think of myself as someone who's been there right from the start.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I consider myself as such. even if technically I only started the books when all 9 came out already. So I was like Winter's Heart was when so
But you
I
started from 1.
yes, I started from 1. And I at least I at least experienced waiting for Crossroads of Twilight. So, you know, I should
And the
get some
disappointment
street
around that.
cred with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I guess we're both now at that point in the show where we're actually theorizing as well, because it's I like this term. It's a different turning of the wheel. So,
Mm.
anything goes, but at least we know the structure of where it's going. Were there any changes that you really like?
Okay, wait. I actually came up with an Excel file. Let me see.
Wow, prepared.
No, I mean, just so I don't forget everything. Okay, I mean, first off, I actually like the whole they strengthened the Rand and Egwene romance. I mean, it
Yes,
was there in the books, but it was like,
it
they
was
kind of had
very
crushes on each other, so juvenile,
yeah.
but they had crushes on each other, but then eventually they went to separate ways. But I like the fact that they kind of made it like really they were a couple, because it makes in this world that they've created for them now, 4 years, 4 years older, a lot of the choices they make and the decisions they make throughout the show make a lot more sense, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
Rand choosing to go to the White Tower because he thinks that that's what Egwene's gonna do. Egwene being conflicted about her own choices.
Yeah.
It's not like
It has more
in
it has more gravity.
yeah, in the books it just seems like I just want to be Aes Sedai, right? But now there's a little bit more of these this
Yeah,
tussle
there's a life
between.
tension.
Exactly. So that one I quite like. I also like Soiraine. So
Yes, I'm
um
a big fan.
I like Soiraine.
Did
I
you
like
see it? Did you see it in the books? Because some people say that they saw it.
no,
I
I
never
mean it
saw
was
it.
mentioned in New Spring. That's it, right? And I didn't even think much of it. But I like it because again, it's Moiraine was more like a plot device. I thought in the books, but now there's actually more characterization.
Yes, correct.
Um, I like the idea of Soiraine. I don't like this whole extended, overly dramatic saying of their
Oh, the
marriage
oath
vows
rod
on the
thing.
oath rod. It's like,
Yes, yes.
please get it over with. It's so long.
Really?
I don't know. It's like, yeah, like you didn't need to. I mean, as some, I'm thinking like I'm sure the other sisters will be like, what the fuck is going on here? Like
Yes.
it's not a secret anymore with the things she was saying, on the oath rod. And it would make more tongues wag with what she was saying. But anyway, like forgetting about that, they needed to show some drama and heavy characterization for Moiraine. Let's move the story along, please. There's so much more to talk about. And speaking of that, I think
Speaking of moving the story along,
the worst
yeah, I think we're
offender
gonna talk about it.
was the
Episode 5. Are you thinking
exactly, which we discussed before. I just cannot accept it. It's
You know what? I would have accepted it if they killed off Moraine at the end of
exactly.
this, and then like, oh, that's why we knew about the bond. It's
Yeah.
important to know. But
Yeah.
but now that nothing happened, it's like, why did we spend so much time?
Yeah, exactly. When there's so much happening in the books that they could talk about. And then they spend the whole episode about Stepin, which is okay.
Is there one thing that you wanted that didn't come into the show from book 1?
The thing is, book 1 feels like so long ago. And I think I've also told you that Eye of the World is one of the weaker books. I actually don't remember
Correct.
much from it anymore. The only thing I remember is that it feels like it doesn't even belong to the whole series. Like he started writing some kind of prepubescent young adult novel, which had all these fantasy tropes a la Lord of the Rings. And then suddenly he started writing this much richer, much more interesting world. So Eye of the World kind of felt like it wasn't even, it feels a little out of place.
Do you remember the end of the Eye of the World?
I mean, I don't remember, but I mean, from reading the like the comments online, like, okay, they were mentioning it and I don't even remember. But I like how they treated actually for the most part, right? What they did with the ending. I liked it. I think
Okay.
the problem with the books is that it's like you have this thick book, right, where so much happens, but in the end it's just Rand who has to do something, right?
True.
He
True.
he becomes this godlike person who will defeat everyone. So suddenly all this tension that you built up in for the first 900 pages doesn't matter because Rand is there to save the day, right? But so here it kind of
Yeah.
makes more sense that they've spread it around.
They split it up.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
more people have more to
Actually,
do.
so one of the things that I did like as a change was the fact that in the book they all go to the Eye of the World without a plan because I don't remember the plan. It was like, let's all go to the Eye of the World.
Yeah, and then
And
you meet this stupid, mysterious green man. Like, what the hell is the green man
yeah.
for? So that one is a nice change. Like, that didn't make sense.
Yes, I'm glad they took that out. I'm also okay with the fact that the Eye of the World is the seal or it's the place of the prison or something. So I was fine with streamlining all of that. I'm okay with it's just Rand because it's like no one else had anything to do with that anyway. Except for my personal theory for this turning of the wheel was that they were gonna come together as Captain Planet and they each had something to contribute for the Dark One's thing, but they went straight for the Dragon Reborn thing, so that was good.
I guess the sad thing about the ending was that Perrin was mostly useless.
Yeah.
Again, he became like a plot device in the end. But I mean, that happens a lot anyway in the books. So it's not like they tried
It's not
at
like
least.
Perrin had much to do anyway in the first two books.
Yeah.
Though, so this one, I had a problem with it, and then I actually I reconciled with the fact that apparently he's been trying to follow the way of the leaf for the past month.
Apparently, right? Like really?
Did this actually happen? Okay, fine. So that one line of dialogue, I'm gonna extrapolate that you've been trying hard to be way of the leaf, and then that one line of Padan Fen saying, "Oh, look, one trigger, and then you go straight for the dark." Yeah. And then I was like, okay, that was good. I'm still feeling very off that he didn't do anything at all once he didn't swing the axe, he didn't do anything after that. The next scene was him looking into the sunrise at the Trolloc, the dead Trollocs. Like he didn't do anything after. So anyway, I understand.
Another thing I liked was the Nynaeve land romance. Like they've actually fleshed it out,
more developed. Yes.
Yeah, because like at some point, suddenly like, really? They're an item? Like what the hell happened? Did I miss this whole thing? Like something was happening in the background and
so
suddenly they're a couple.
Specifically. And then there's suddenly a couple at the end. It's like, oh. and those exact lines were said in the book. And I remember being like, what the when did that happen? Well, the lines are still, what the fuck? Why are you talking about that after a one night stand? But I'm glad they at least fleshed it out some more.
Yeah, I mean they had all these furtive glances from episode 1, so I mean, so I wouldn't say it's just from one night. Yeah.
What did you think about the final battle with the 5 women doing their?
Okay, so I mean, I also kind of don't like that so much, but I don't think it's also much different anyway from the implications from the books, right? Because in the books, it's Rand doing that, and suddenly they split it into these 5 women, so they're equally absurd. So it kind of, one untrained guy or 5 untrained women, or barely trained women.
It was an untrained. Yep. Rand at that point was literally a plot device also.
Yeah. So and then suddenly they can destroy tens of thousands of Trollocs. So you just think like, okay, where is the problem? I mean, you have hundreds of Aes Sedai who could probably do this much better. So why are you so worried about the last battle? So that's
They
kind
can
of the
probably
implication
wipe
of
out the
that.
blight.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like it's a little stupid. But anyway, I mean, again, it's not any different from how ridiculous it is in the books. I think what I find really funny, like all these complaints from booklooks, is that don't treat it like it's dogma because there's a lot that can be improved on. And I think the
Correct.
show has
And
done a good
modernized, I
job.
guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What I don't want to happen is that it becomes a gripe fest because I do have a lot of gripes. I do have a lot of things that I like also. Sorry, you were
Oh.
saying.
No. I mean, like with that five ladies channeling, right? And then suddenly in the end, Egwene suddenly
Oh my
heals
God.
Nynaeve. That
No,
one is
this is
maybe
my gripe.
my major thing that like what it's like it's just lazy writing there because it's even if it wasn't like canon, right? That cannot be done. It's just so. I mean, I hope they explain it how it happened. I mean, part of my theory is that I think maybe Egwene was wearing the like Moraine's pendant Angreal. That's why she was the
Uh-huh.
only one who wasn't burnt out.
At that point, I think Nynaeve, if you rewatch it, Nynaeve seems to be taking her place in
Protecting,
the
right?
yeah, protecting the burning out basically.
Okay, and how would she do that? Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. But
Let's not be
and then
booklooks.
Egwene heals her magically with
No, I don't
with
like
true
this. I don't like
love.
this at all.
Okay, that is really it's a little stupid. But anyway, at least she's still alive. She has much to do.
What did you think about the Horn of Valir being in Shinar this entire time?
That's totally fine. I mean, like if you imagine if they had actually had left it in the eye of the world, then the show would have had to spend a few minutes of exposition and explanation of why it was there in the first place.
Yeah, yeah.
So I
And
mean, it was okay to be in China.
yeah, I was also okay with this change because, again, in the end of the Eye of the World, where I still don't understand until now, I still don't understand the point of the Eye of the World in the books. There's a pool of
Exactly. Why
Sidene,
is there a pool of pure Sidin and yeah,
and then
why?
inside there's the Horn of Valir and all all these magical items that are convenient for the plot.
Yeah.
So I was also fine with it. So I've been doing these non-reader interviews, right? And one of the things that the other people were saying, my Trekkie friends, they were like, so they spent the entire episode, Uno and the others, they spent the entire episode trying to dig up the horn. Literally, that was their plot line. Let's dig up the horn, and then it's like I guess to a non-reader, they're like, "What the fuck is this?"
What did your yeah exactly? So what did your friend say about that? Because I think one of the comments of another friend of that friend of mine who's read it, he feels like a lot of these details are given so quickly without much explanation that I think
Mm.
for him like a lot of non-readers probably are going, okay, what the hell is this now? It's like, I need a little more explanation.
You know what? For them, they're seeing a lot of these details, but they're not getting hung up on it so much. Like, oh, okay, it happened. It must be important somewhere, but they're not like fixating on details, which I guess is good for them.
There's a lot to nitpick, but I think for the most part, actually, I mean, I do enjoy it.
What was your favorite episode?
Seven.
Same actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
that felt evenly paced, and it featured the five. No, not the five. Sorry, X-Mat. It featured at least Rand suddenly after a while. So yeah, I also liked episode 7, and it had a lot of banging. That's always a check mark for me.
But speaking of Matt, right? So I mean, I'm sure you must know, right? So I didn't realize that until like I was reading stuff online that actually the reason why Matt didn't go with them is because Barney left. So they had to
Yes,
figure
yeah.
out a way of writing this into the story, and I thought actually it made sense. So I actually like that change because it's kind of within the characterization that they were
It's
making
within
of
the
Matt
character. Yeah.
in the show. And it just makes up
Yes.
for a lot more interesting. I mean, at some point they all get to split up and go somewhere else, right? So it's just like they're sort of
They're doing that
advancing that
earlier on.
a little bit. And I
Yeah.
think like for example, Rand, like theorizing, okay, where is he gonna go? I'm thinking maybe this is his chance to because now he's found out who his mother is. He's
Mm-mm.
gonna go find the Aiel. And
I've
that's where he
seen
starts
that
learning.
theory. And I've seen the theory that maybe he's going straight to tier. Like I don't know how, but he'll go to tier first. But let's see
Why would he go to
where they go.
tier?
He needs to get the sword.
No, but like from
But
within the
there
context of
for
what's been shown.
no. There's no reason. So
Ah.
the only thing that could happen is go to the waste. But let's see. Speaking of Barney, the biggest consequence of that for the script rewrites was they said the Padan Fane Perrin conversation was supposed to be with Matt, which would have made more sense, like because they have a previous relationship, and then here Perrin's just like, "Mm, I don't know." I'm very sad with what happened to Perrin. And speaking of Matt again, I really feel weird that Moraine called the Red Aja on Matt. Like I don't know.
I know.
That
I
wasn't
thought that was in
within
line
her
with her
character.
character because I
Little
mean,
Red Aja bitches.
yeah. But the truth is, Moiraine doesn't exactly care about the kids, right? She only cares about the outcome. And now
True.
Matt is a potential dangerous evil channeler at that point, right? When she said that.
Yeah.
So I mean, it just made sense to me. Like, okay, yeah. I mean, it's in line with who Moiraine is, and I didn't expect Moiraine to be this, kindly person who will
True.
want to take
True.
care of
And
the Emerald
I do
Steel Five.
recall like when I was reading the books and I did a reread recently. I remember thinking Moraine's a very distant, cold, calculating person, which I
Yeah,
think Rosamund Pike has been able to convey.
yeah, exactly. That's why I don't even mind anymore that she's too tall, because I think she's doing a really really good job as Moiraine.
So I don't understand people who are still hung up on the tallness. Like there are so many other things that you could be hung up with,
Yeah,
but the
exactly.
tallness we can get over it after a while. What did you think about Loyal, or as the show calls him, Loyal?
I mean, I wish he were bigger, but I mean that's really my only gripe about that. They have to cut out so much stuff, right? So Loyal is not exactly the most interesting character in the beginning or throughout the series. I mean, at least to me.
He's
So he's a loyal companion basically. But and if you take out his whole storyline, honestly, apart from the fact that maybe they can't get into the ways, I don't even remember. I don't even know how crucial he is to the story.
not to the story. He's more of a supporting
Exactly.
character. For all my non-reader interviews, they were all pretty devastated with the last scene with Loyal, where
Oh,
he's
they really
stabbed
like
by
Loyal.
Padalkin. Yes, they find him. Well, they found him like a cute animal. Well, so Lily, I don't know if I told you this in
Does Lily
episode.
watch?
Yes, because of me. So she ended up watching. So in episode, when did they get to Faldara? Episode 7. Anyway,
Six.
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 Yes,
Yeah. Sorry. Seven. That's right. Seven.
seven.
Yeah.
So, in episode 7, if you recall, Loyal brings them to Faldara, and then he disappears. And then so Lily was like, "Where did the animal go?" And then I was like, "What? What animal are you talking about? The cute animal." Oh, you mean Loyal, the cute animal? So and I've said this to my friends, and then now they call him the cute animal also. And then they were like, "What the fuck happened? Why did they stab him?" Blah blah blah. So they seem attached to him. According to the Rafe interview afterwards, he's not dead. So
Yeah.
I had to tell them already, like he's not dead, guys. So
I mean, unless you
breathe.
see it like unless they bury that person, I think. Like for example, Tom Marilyn, I'm sure he's gonna appear again at some point. He wasn't killed
Yes,
by the Fade. Although even that was that even in Eye of the World, did he battle the Fade by himself?
yes.
Oh, he did, and he
Um,
survived.
and he survived, but he would end up with a permanent limp
Oh
afterwards.
yeah. That's right. Okay, so
I I,
maybe you're
sh-
gonna see
I should
the
add to
hot
the
gray fox
audience.
bard.
Oh God, he's so hot. Because I was gonna say I'm so happy that they did away. Well, who knows? Maybe they still go with a Tom Moraine thing, but um I'm at this point, I'm glad they didn't go with that. So I found the Soiraine more believable than the
Yeah.
Tauraine.
But then without Tom, I mean, maybe they will kill off Tom because or he'll just introduce him. They'll introduce him again at some point, but he's not gonna be so important because I don't think
True.
they're even gonna do the whole
The the
Aelfin
the Elfin
storyline because that's
Ilfin,
just
yeah.
another few hours worth of stuff to explain. Right. So I think you're not gonna have the doorway to Angreal and Moiraine getting drained and I don't
Oh,
know.
okay, that part because I still want to see the doorway there, Angriel, Matt stuff, all the Matt stuff. I do want to see him doing the bargain and then getting all his
I
paraphernalia.
have a feeling that's not gonna happen.
Oh,
Then because it's just too much to explain, right? They have to
but
introduce a completely new world, and I'm actually surprised that they decided to focus on the Shanchan from the very beginning. I mean, like quite early on, um,
what did you think about that cold close,
the tidal wave.
the tidal wave to the little girl?
No, I mean the only thing was that okay, they're introducing them quite early, and so that means they probably feature quite prominently. That's where like Rafe decided that this is important enough to be kept and focused
In
on,
season one?
or in season two, right? Because it's like more like a preview.
Yeah, and the Shanchan will be they're great hunt material anyway.
Yeah.
Um, because of Falme. I wonder if we'll get Falme.
No, but the thing is, even if the Shanchan were there, it always felt like until maybe later on, they're more like in the background.
Mm.
At least that's how it felt to me in the books. But now it seems like they're probably gonna give them a more prominent role in
Yeah.
in the show.
I just hope they don't because so the look of the Shanchan, like the Chinese junk ships with the dragons and the I hope they don't make a pseudo Oriental stereotype for the Shanchan. But let's see
I mean,
what's
you
gonna
saw
happen.
some of them were actually, I think, if you looked at the characters on the ship, I mean, okay, a lot of them are Asian, but also you saw some Caucasians there. So I don't know if they're gonna be like
Well, we
Emmons
know that
Field
the Wheel of
again.
Time
Like
is a very, very diverse
yeah,
population.
exactly. Yeah, like Emmons Field is this melting pot of for a town that is so isolated in the mountains. You have this super diverse group of people there somehow. So and then same with the Shanchan.
Though, I mean, in the books, the Shanchan are very diverse anyway. Yeah.
One thing I'm wondering is, I mean, they did touch upon the Forsaken at some part. I think during the
Yes,
Warder
with the step
episode.
in thing.
Yeah, but they never actually mentioned it again. I mean, obviously, the Forsaken is like a super important part of the story, at least characters wise. So I'm curious about how and when they will eventually bring up this concept, or at least some of the key characters.
Yeah. Because I've actually seen theories of that we've actually seen the Forsaken already, but they're in illusions, and we just didn't know that they were Forsaken. So there have been theories like that, but yeah, I don't know. What did you think about then? So in the credits, he's called the Man, the Dark One.
Mm,
What did you think about the actor and the performance in the last episode? Oh
it's
no,
okay. Yeah,
it's
like
fine.
okay.
You didn't find
Yeah.
him hot?
Actually, you know what I got reminded of? He reminded me of Lost. Did you watch Lost?
Oh no, no.
But not because he looked like the same character, but it's like this mysterious man with a beard, which is kind of like the same
Oh,
concept like with Lost. I mean, I mean, it was okay. It's not like I thought it was a good choice. I didn't think that there was anything super special about the whole performance.
okay. Because when I first saw him, I was thinking, I wish we had seen him in the dreams. Manipulating them all along. I didn't like the jump scares.
With
The
this
flaming
weird
eyes.
GOT
CGI.
white, what do you call it? The White Walkers with red eyes. Like he kind of looked like that. Speaking of Forsaken, I just feel like not all of them are obviously important, right? Maybe the only really
They
important
can
ones
chop a
are
lot more.
Ishii, Lanfear, if they
Lanfear.
choose to go that route. I mean, I would argue she's very, very important, but not
Yes, she
necessary.
is John Rae.
No, no,
No.
no, no, no. She is important, but not necessary. Like if they decide to cut that, that's fine. But Ishii is
No.
important because then they have to manifest the
Yes.
Dark One somehow. And the other really important one that I think they cannot cut out is Asmodian.
That's not yeah.
Because then otherwise, how will Rand learn how to channel? So who is going to be there to teach him, right? Or are they just gonna go the route of suddenly I'm remembering all these things because I'm the Dragon Reborn, which is really stupid.
One small gripe I had when Rand tells Moiraine, you need to teach me to channel. At that point, I had hoped there was one single line where Moiraine goes, I can't teach you because you're a man and I'm a woman. Like there's a difference here. But no, the way it came across was like, I can't teach you right now because we don't have time and you'll do it by instinct. Like
actually that's not how I read it. I mean, I also thought maybe because I already know. So I also understood it as I can't teach you because I'm a woman. But maybe if you didn't know that you would also not,
because it's not so explicit. Like
yeah.
like from my non-reader interviews, they're like, oh, so and it's the wording where they go, oh, you mean if you touch the one power you corrupt it, like because of the line from Leandrin saying when you touch the source you corrupt it, like you make it filthy. So to them they were like, oh, is that how it works? So anyway,
but the thing is, like, did they even mention Saidin and Saidar? Never,
no,
right?
not in the
So
show.
I don't know if they're gonna even explain that.
They
Maybe
have
next
talked about
season.
it in the extras.
Really? Okay.
You should watch it, John Ray. They're animated stuff.
Really animated?
Animated.
Okay.
I've only watched 3. My friends have watched like all of them. Anyway, speaking of Asmodi, hey, we've seen Ishii already. I mean, isn't that the man?
No, exactly. That's why he's important, right? And
Okay.
because someone needs to manifest as the Dark One, right? Like he needs to
Yes.
have his champion.
Correct. I wonder
But
if they'll
then,
do
yeah,
the whole Moridin thing. Anyway,
I know that that's another
recycling.
one that kind of didn't make sense. Like suddenly, Robert Jordan finds himself with, he keeps painting himself into corners, so he just expands the house. Basically, that's what he's doing.
I'm trying to think of the other people who were important. Oh, you know what? I hope in this turning of the wheel, Mazrim Tayin is Demon Red. I don't know if you ever got into that full.
Yeah. I mean, I also thought like, that would be the obvious choice, but at the same time, maybe he was gonna find another place for Demandred because that was so obvious, right? But I do want Demandred to be there mainly, or at least whoever is going to play that role for spoiler Egwene,
the flame
in
of
the end, right? The
Tarvalon.
flame of Tarvalon and healing Balefire and all that, and becoming like the hero she was meant to be. She was actually my
I know
favorite
you have
character in the
thoughts.
books, Egwene.
I mean, she was mine too,
But
but
a lot of people hate her.
yes, I only noticed that once I got into the internet again, and then it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
really.
there's a lot of Egwene hate.
Yeah.
My on this portrayal, so this portrayal of Egwene, my friends are not a fan of her either, and
Oh,
I was like,
really?
because of what was that? There was a Filipino term that they were using, nagmamaganda or something. Like they were like, what the fuck is her problem? Anyway, so they're not a fan.
Yeah, maybe which is exactly also I think the gripe of a lot of people about her characterization
The
in the
Hermione
books. Yeah,
characterization,
exactly. Yeah, but I mean,
which I like.
I really like her. I really like the character
Yes.
and the one who's portraying her.
Okay, so you like Madeleine Madden also.
Yeah, I mean, I generally like the casting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think all of it is quite good for me. I don't have any
Yeah.
problems with.
I actually pretty liked Matt, Barney Harris.
Yeah,
Like,
which is too bad that he couldn't continue.
so the recasting was also I'll send you the link of my reaction when he was recasted. Because someone said that when Barney Harris had to be recasted, Rafe probably said, "Take out the twink lists. I need another twink."
But Barney isn't even a twink.
He's
He
a
doesn't look like a twink.
he's an otter.
No, but he doesn't look.
No, he's not. He's not a
Okay,
twink.
maybe Rand kind of looks a little twinky.
Um,
And like also Perrin for his size he looks very young. Like because of his face, like always like and a little surly. I don't know.
and always, yeah. So on the twink thing, because at that point in time we hadn't seen material of bearded Matt, so all the photos were hairless Matt. Sorry. You know what? I'm still worried about the whole parent thing. I don't know how they're gonna develop him further. I hope he develops because I
I
mean,
mean, there is still that whole wolf brother thing, right? So I guess that's how they're gonna develop him at some point. I don't know if he's still gonna be the Lord of Two Rivers.
yeah.
I don't think.
Do you think
Again,
they'll have
one
the
one.
Fail storyline and the kidnapping?
I wish they would cut her because she's like the most annoying character of the whole Wheel of Time. Like I would be so happy.
I really wonder how my subscribers are gonna react to all of our conversation.
Why do they like Fail?
No, so it's very divisive. There are
Uh,
Fail lovers, Fail haters. There are Cadsuane lovers and haters. Did you see? Did you see that? You know Shori Agdasli, The Expanse.
yeah. But it's not a confirmed casting, right? I think they were like it
No,
was
no,
more
no.
like yeah.
It's just that they're talking. But
Hmm.
let's see. I would love her as Cadsuane. Do you like Cadsuane the character?
Not really.
Because I love her. I love her. Okay. Anyway.
And then Cadsuane was just like, I need to have another strong woman on the Aes Sedai side because I think I wrote them too weak now that I've written so many strong characters in the wise ones. So I'm gonna write in a Cadsuane. And because Moiraine is gone, I need someone else.
Yeah. I wonder if there will be a Cadsuane. Anyway, yeah, there's no confirmed castings yet. What are you excited about for season 2 from what you've seen so far? Or like what you're expecting from whatever you know?
I mean, now that they've really gone into it's really
Another
different now,
territory.
right? The main plot is kind of there, but the threads are just so different from the books that it's I don't even want to predict what will be there. And which is kind of nice because okay, suddenly I'm reading or watching a completely new thing. So the one I'm really looking forward to is what is the show gonna do with Moiraine with her new situation?
Yes.
Is she shielded? We don't know. But like with what Rafe was saying about he wants to develop that character into what will she be if she doesn't have her power. I think that is interesting to explore.
Yep, yep.
And
Did you
obviously,
watch The
where is
Witcher?
Rand gonna go and what happened to Matt? And
True.
okay, what I'm really looking forward to is the two girls studying in the White Tower.
Shaking up the White Tower.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll have the whole if you recall in the Great Hunt, Liandrin sends them out and then that's how they get captured by the Shanchan. I wonder if they'll have that.
Maybe. I mean, now that they've introduced the Shang-Chan, I don't know.
You know, one of the things that I super loved from the Great Hunt was the very beginning where Lan was teaching Rand how to fight with his sword, and they were both half naked and sweating, and they were just fighting. I'm so shallow. these are the things that I super wish we could have. Wait, one more thing. One more thing that I super wish we could have is at the start of the Great Hunt, Moiraine has all of Rand's clothes burned, and then all he has are his lord's cloak, lord's clothes. And
Why was it again?
why did they burn it?
Why did she ask? Why did she have them burned? I don't even remember.
I'm not sure.
Because he has to be the Dragon Reborn. Now that they have the banner, so he can't look like a sheep herder.
Yeah. She needs to start grooming them, I guess. I don't know. But because at this point, if you notice, they've had the same clothes for the past 8 episodes. And if I see Rand still in the blue shirt in season 2, I need someone to scrub him down, strip him, and
at least he's probably going to keep that cloak. I wonder if that's the famous red cloak, the one that he keeps wearing, or if he has another famous red cloak.
So now it's the brown sheep cloak.
That's
gonna be the famous red cloak.
Where did he get the red cloak that he keeps wearing? I don't even remember.
I think that's from this part where so all his clothes are burned, and then all the clothes that are replaced are fine lord's clothes.
Okay, because he keeps wearing that red cloak. At least we keep seeing it in the covers and keeps getting mentioned also.
Correct.
Red cloak.
Someone in my viewers is gonna just reply in the comments and say what exactly that was. So I think we're almost up. So we've talked about the changes we like. We've talked about what we're expecting-ish from season 2. Did we talk about changes we didn't like?
I mean, I that kind of kept popping up anyway. So
yeah,
it's not like it wasn't. Yeah, exactly. If anything, there were a lot more gripes than stuff.
And I did try to steer it positively.
Yeah. But I mean, again, not exactly. Not to say that I don't like the show, but it's
correct.
There are still some things which is like so. Like if I had to rate the show from 1 to 5, I would give it a 4. So all those gripes are
still high.
Yeah, exactly. So all those gripes are gonna be that missing one, but for the most part, I like it.
That's great to hear.
Why? What would you rate it 1 to 5?
Because I was gonna say 7.5, so 3.75.
So not exactly a 4, but kind of almost there.
Almost there. I'm still. So one of the things that really really bothered me was the 1 power explosion, because
in the ways.
No.
The
5 untrained women, the 5 whatever. And I know that you're comparing that to Rand being God and raining down whatever, but at that point it's like, yeah, whatever. It's the Dragon Reborn. Who knows what he can do with that power? What I've been thinking about was, I really like using the 1 power as a weapon as per Do My Swells. Right? That sequence where it changed the game, because suddenly, oh my god, there are these people who are, making blenders out of the 1 power. But then we see it here already. So I'm like, how could they top that? But so that's my nitpick. Other than that, I think I'm pretty okay.
No, I think the reason why Do My Swells is special is because they didn't do it to Trollocs. So they actually the reason why there is so much importance to this is because they were killing people. Right? So that's also the kind of the turning point for Rand. Suddenly maybe he is getting crazy because he allowed this to happen to all. I mean, given that the Shido are bad people, they're still people, right? But then you kind of get the sense that this is Rand is not exactly goody or he's getting crazy already. So that's where the weight comes from, I think.
That's a good point. I'm glad you mentioned that, because now I'm like, oh yeah, these are like people who are gonna be slaughtered like the Trollocs have been here, and it's gonna be so devastating. Okay, fine. It's a 4.
But that is the one thing I am looking forward to. Like when I don't know if I told you, like even before the show started, I really want to see Dumai's Wells. Like, how are they gonna do this? I want to see exploding Shido.
Yes, exactly. You know, also sorry, one more thing that I wish we could see more of. What is the development maybe of the fear of male channeler? I guess they tried that with Logain, but like there should be an impact of, oh my god, Rand is gonna be the Dragon Reborn. So we need to fear him because he's gonna go crazy. Um, you
But
know,
he's also our hope.
yeah. So I want
Yeah.
that tension to come, and I guess we'll see it. I really wonder how they're gonna bring, or maybe they're not gonna get together again until later in the books because they're probably all gonna split up already.
By the time they get back together, they're like super powerful.
Superpowers already, right?
Yeah. It's like actually
One will be
I think
Amelin.
like the most powerful in the end was actually Perrin. It's like, what kind of power is this? You can just show up
Yeah,
anywhere you want, and then you know,
yes.
like, why would you even need Rand when you have Perrin?
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so let's see how that works out. So ending with that, where we reflect on the superpowers that our Emmonsfield 5 will become. So thanks, John Rae, for coming on over from chilly Berlin. And to everyone else who's been listening, if you liked listening to us, ramble, rant, talk about random stuff, please like and subscribe if ever you enjoyed it. And if you didn't enjoy it, you can dislike and help the YouTube algorithm, whatever. And comment down below. Let us know what you think, or if you vehemently disagree with whatever we've said, or if you super support what we've said. Please comment down below. Give me the engagement. And if you super didn't like it, just remember it's just somebody's opinion. And just John Rae the Great's opinion. So thank you, John Rae. Okay,
Thanks.
bye.
Bye. Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year, yes.
Somebody's opinion.